What would a travel video look like if it was filmed entirely with a phone in your pocket? Well, it would look a little bit something like this. As you guys know, I've been telling you for the longest time to get started in travel filmmaking with the very same phone that sits in your pocket. And when Samsung reached out to me just a few weeks ago, I saw this as a perfect partnership to share with you guys what cell phone cameras are capable of in 2019. What's up guys, my name is Christian and I'm coming at you right now from Lima, Peru. We're gonna be filming this entire video exclusively using this camera right here. Actually, there are a couple exceptions. That's going to be the flying shots. Unfortunately, the Note 9 doesn't have any flying capabilities, but fingers are crossed for the Note 10. Now, to start our trip to the Amazon, we're gonna need to get up super early because we have a 4 a.m. wake-up call to get ourselves to the Lima airport to fly directly to Iquitos. Once in Iquitos, the Amok Lodge staff picked us up directly from the airport, and from there we had about another hour to get up the river to get to our lodge where we would be staying for the next 3 nights. Right now we're like in this little market area. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Smells, scents. I was just thinking I'm a little hungry and I was trying to think what would hit that spot, and I just realized what it is. This is what I had in mind. Nice little snack for the road. Don't even think about it.
I dare you.
Don't even think about it. Oh my god. That is foul. Taking her chicken out for a walk, that's love. The crazy thing about this market is that it is nothing but real here. This is not set up just for tourists, and I have to say this is one of the most raw markets I've ever seen. This is actually how the locals live.
Well guys, this is gonna be our ride and we have 45 minutes ahead, so let's go.
Okay, so this is actually Dundee River, and one river over where the water's about to change colors, that is the Amazon. Because we're going to the Amazon, I brought a piranha expert with me. I want to show you a little thing or two. This is how you can distinguish between a friendly fish and a mean piranha. That's better. It wouldn't be a trip to the Amazon rainforest without a little rain, and only like, I don't know, 3 minutes into being here, it's starting to rain. So what are you eating?
It's an Amazonian causa. It's a local potato with tapioca, avocado, sweet chili, cheese, a lot of things. So good.
So this right here, guys, is a river fish out of the Amazon. Doncella.
Doncella.
Oh, just like mother used to make it. I can't believe I'm eating so good in the Amazon. I also love that I feel like I'm trying new things. Here's actual North American style food infused with like some of the local ingredients. It's just really fantastic. I want to remind you guys that everything you're seeing right now is being shot on the Samsung Note 9, and this is the image quality you're getting. And this is just a picture perfect moment here on the Amazon. Look at the sky right now. Look at this thing.
It's so cute.
Wow. And this is where we're going to be staying for the next 3 nights. Follow me down this beautiful wooden pathway. Under the hammock, feels like we're the only ones here right now. You've got the Amazon pretty much to yourself. Come on in. So this is one side of our place, and basically it's very simple. You've got a bed, you've got a mosquito net. This is super important at night. You don't have any electricity aside from one little light, which is powered by a solar powered battery, so that'll charge throughout the day. That's the only source of electricity that you have in your unit. There's a few other plugs that can be found in the commons area, so if we need to charge any of our camera gear, that's where we're going to be doing that. That's it. No AC, no fan. You're going to be dealing with the humidity of the Amazon, but right now it's not that bad. So this thing will slowly burn throughout the night, releasing incenses, which I would hope the mosquitoes do not like, and it keeps them away. We also have our own bathroom, which is nice. So if you come in through here, the water that's used in here is actually pumped from underground, so it's not good for drinking, but just fine for cleaning yourself in the shower, brushing your teeth. See you. Gracias. So we're now headed out on the Amazon in our boat here with our guide Carlos, and Carlos is hopefully going to help us find maybe some piranhas, maybe even an anaconda today, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I've been to the Amazon once before, and if there's one thing I learned, it's that you cannot count on Mother Nature. She will show herself to you if she's in the mood. This is one of the most distinct things you'll see in the Amazon. See how there's like different colors of water colliding? So the Amazon is the brown one and the Yanayaku River is the black one. And so for some reason, the two waters don't mix very well. And so when they meet, they actually have a distinct separation between the two of them.
Black River.
Just now?
Yeah, now I saw one.
We may have a dolphin up ahead, and this is not like any kind of dolphin you've ever seen before. They're up here somewhere. All-terrain boat, we can do it! Let's go! Almost there, let's go!
I wouldn't like to get stuck here.
Kathy's just doing her part.
What can I do? There is no more paddle. I started when I know. You're doing nothing as well.
So close! Hey! Nothing is impossible. One of the incredible things about the Note 9's camera in particular is the 1.5 aperture. Now, I don't know if you just noticed on that shot, but there's actually depth of field on a cell phone. I've never seen that done before, and it makes it incredible for moments like this where it's starting to get dark. The low light performance on this cell phone is unbelievable. And we're back. Home sweet home. Good morning from the sunrise here on the Amazon River. And this is what we have here. Absolutely beautiful. It goes from being like a brown river to being a reflective orange. So I want to talk a little bit about the setup I've been using to make this video here today, because as you know, it's being filmed on a Note 9. I have two of them. So right now I've got one set up on the gimbal. The gimbal I'm using is just like any other gimbal you'll find on the market. It's actually one of the cheaper ones. I think it came in around $120 US. I also have a microphone set up to there. And once again, it's a no-name third party. I bought it in Bangkok, but you can find them all over the internet for as low as like $30 to $50. And this is the audio without the microphone, so I'll let you make your decision which one you like better. And as you can probably hear, it makes a pretty big difference. It does a good job isolating what you're supposed to be filming instead of getting surrounding noises. Whenever I travel to places like this, I'm always fascinated by what's the most dangerous thing here. Black River, or would you rather swim in the Amazon? I asked Carlos which one would he recommend, and he said it would be best to go in the Black River actually, because in the Brown River, you don't really have to worry so much about predators. There's only like the occasional stingray that could really kill you. The thing that you do have to worry about are these like little worm parasitic things that swim up your urethra?
Urethra in Spanish, yeah.
And so whether you're a woman or a man, they literally will go inside your body and eat you from the inside, which is not cool. And they're actually barbed. They basically do not let themselves be pulled out of your body without like putting up a fight. So.
But hey, Christian found a solution. He said he will jump with a condom.
I asked Carlos, I was like, so do men wear condoms when they go swimming? And he said no. His only solution was like, well, they're usually not there. And I was like, well, that's not very reassuring.
Yeah.
You swim in the Amazon?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, all the time.
They actually tell you to bring a bathing suit because you can do it. I made a very bad question. I asked Carlos, so what could go wrong by going in the Black River? He's like, well, there's electric eels that have killed people before. Kathy and I are feeling a little shook. I don't know if we're gonna go in the water anymore. And we've just been greeted by our first primate friend. Did you know you're beautiful? Has anyone told you that today? Sometimes words can help more than you think. Monkey Island is a sanctuary for so many monkeys. Most of them come in because they were either domesticated by locals and they couldn't raise them anymore, or they were brought in because they were stopped by the police before being sold on the black market. And they can spend their entire life basically roaming around here until they're ready to be released into the wild, which is literally their backyard. So Monkey Island is basically paradise. The work they're doing here is so cool. Am I able to put my hand out, or?
Yeah, you can try.
Hi. Hello. We're friends, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I feel about this.
So you're making out with a monkey?
I think this is how diseases start.
Looks like...
Oh my gosh, this monkey looks like it's pondering life. Oh. Oh, he's moving.
Hola.
And Rosita was brought here as a little baby in the rehab center. And basically her mother was killed for food. She was taken in as a pet, but now she is a mother and she's given birth to that little one, just hanging on. This right here is actually a wild monkey. So one of the monkeys that was rehabilitated got let into the wild, had a bunch of babies, and now this is actually a wild pack that you see here. There's about 20 of them, all living together. Oh my gosh, they jump so far. Look at the Beyonce walk. What happens at Monkey Island stays at Monkey Island. Good morning, guys. We're feeling a little bit beat up. Let me tell you that Ketty and I, probably across us, have about 100 mosquito bites. Ketty has most of them on her lower half. I have most of them on my upper half. Mosquitoes don't care if you have a shirt on or spandex in Ketty's case. They'll bite right through it. Sprayed our entire bodies like a nice primer coat, and then we put our clothing on, and then we put another secondary coat on top of our clothing. I almost fell. I have to say, my favorite thing about being in the Amazon is actually when you go to bed. You get to go to bed to the sound of rain, to the sound of all of the monkeys, birds, the insects, the frogs. It's like an orchestra of natural noise. It's really beautiful. As you guys know, we've been looking for the pink dolphin this entire trip, and we might have our lucky break here. We're on the Rio Negro, and Carlos just spotted one. He just like breached right there, guys.
Oh, there it is! Yeah,
oh my gosh, I saw it.
Half pink.
It was huge.
It's huge.
Oh, there it is, there it is!
Yeah.
Our guides were explaining that they've been doing this whistling sound because apparently it sounds like the undead, like an evil spirit, and the dolphin apparently doesn't like it, and that's what makes the dolphin want to come up for air. That's one of the local beliefs here. Nice and muddy in the Amazon. We got the big boots on now. Okay, you guys probably don't see me there, but it's because I got my camouflage on. Now, I wanted to show you guys how big this tree is because it's probably one of the biggest I've ever seen. The best way to do that is to give you some scale. I think this is a time for your line.
Look at that tree, it's huge.
A little more enthusiasm.
Look at that tree, it's huge. Oh my god, look at that ant, it's huge.
This is straight out of Avatar. Like, I don't know where James Cameron's been traveling, but he clearly came here before. It is a spitting image of the master mother tree that they all live inside. I'm not ready to be Tarzan. We got back in the boat, and this is what's going on right here. Look at the rainbow and the reflection off the water. It's a double rainbow. Boots, check. Breakfast, check. I do know one thing. I almost died. Ketty has gone through all 3 stages of the Amazon lookbook. She's gone from fashionable to slightly fashionable with a side of functionality to now she's completely given up and just started protecting.
It looks good.
Today I have a special guest with me. We got Crocodile Dundee all the way from Southern Australia. How you doing there, mate?
I want to protect myself.
Put another ship on the barbie, eh? So right now we're heading into the jungle to go to a village. Right now we're with one of the original tribes. Typically they're found between Brazil and Colombia, and they're known as the Jaguar tribe. So they've actually relocated here for tourism purposes, which obviously is a bit of a compromise from actually meeting them in their typical village, but nonetheless they're here to share their culture with us. I'm gonna challenge you to a blow dart competition.
Okay.
You go first.
Okay.
Hey, you hit it. Oh, 2 for 2.
I was born to make this.
So I wanted to see how deep it actually went. It went this deep into the wood here. I mean, it's bamboo, so it's not super dense, but I mean, that would have been into an animal, and with frog poisoning or whatever they would have used back then, it would only be a matter of seconds or minutes until their prey would become their food. I'm the most deadly weapon in the Amazon. It's all that Call of Duty I used to play as a kid. Something I don't like to talk about very often, guys, but I've actually lost 3 family members over the past 10 years to piranhas. Time to get the killer that ate my father. Here, piranha! Here, piranha! Oh!
Just got a chicken.
The deeper you go, the bigger they get. So the one that got my dad is down there somewhere.
You suck.
It got my bait. Yep.
Whoop. They keep trolling you.
They're the biggest trolls of all time. Another day in the outback, mate. By the way, I'm currently vlogging without my microphone. She's very focused. Is she going to catch the piranha? Empty-handed here, mate. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh!
I got one. I got one.
Is it a piranha?
Yeah.
How you know it's a piranha is there's actually orange on the side there. It's got it on its gills as well as on the little tail fins there. Also, you know it's a piranha if it starts eating you.
I want my picture like fishing, you know, like fishermen's.
Yeah. You won't be able to tell people it was a 10-footer. I have evidence. Got any 8s?
Go fish!
Okay. I'm not much of a fisherman myself. I don't know how to hold a fish. Especially carnivorous fish, I'm not so comfortable with.
They can bite you, so be careful.
I know.
And break your finger.
Really? You could break my finger. Maybe I'll give this to Carlos. I felt its jaw shut like a freaking trap door. Oh, Carlos, I'm tapping out.
Okay.
Can see it.
This is my grand.
Wow, look at those teeth.
So that, on top of an incredible bite strength, is the reason you do not want to get your finger in there. Goodbye. Yay!
Are you ready for battle against the rain clouds? Brace yourselves.
So we've packed our bags and we're bringing back some souvenirs, 1,000 bug bites. Aside from that though, guys, we have had the most incredible time here at Amok Lodge. The food is literally the main reason to come here. I mean, if you didn't care about the Amazon at all, it would still be a worthwhile culinary trip. 3 meals a day blew my mind, taking local ingredients, mixing them with like Western comfort foods, accommodation, setup, everything. The staff are amazing. And it's time to head back to Iquitos so that we can go to Lima tonight. Like any camera in the world, there's always going to be pros and cons, and so let's talk about some of the drawbacks of using the Note 9 as my camera over the past 4 days in the Amazon. The first drawback that stands out is the fact that when I'm using the back-facing camera, I get incredible 4K resolution, but one of the primary issues is I don't know when my head is cut off, I don't know when I'm slightly out of focus, and so those things are a little bit of a challenge. You could set your manual focus, you could learn where to position the camera, but right off the bat, there is a bit of a learning curve involved. With that being said though, you can of course use the front-facing camera, which does offer a full 2.7K resolution. Not quite as good as the back, but still an excellent camera. One of the compromises you will be making when filming with a cell phone camera is going to be dynamic range. Where I sometimes felt the Note 9 struggled was when I was filming in the bright daylight. If something else in the frame was slightly underexposed or dark, I either lost all the detail in the shadows or I had my highlights blowing out. Another drawback to using any cell phone camera is going to be that it's so light that it actually is quite shaky unless you have a gimbal. You can get awesome gimbals for $100 and you can get incredibly smooth and stable footage, and that problem is solved. And the final noticeable drawback I wanted to mention is definitely the colors. I felt that a lot of the greens and the yellows were oversaturated, and unfortunately I wasn't able to draw back the saturation without losing my ability to film in 4K. If I wanted to create custom color tones, I could only film in 1080p, and so for today's video that wasn't an option. I had to do all my color corrections, reducing saturations in post-production, which is just extra work, and it never looks quite as good. And now let's talk about the advantages, because there's tons of them. The first one that really stood out was the fact that I can shoot 4K 60 frames per second on the back of a cell phone. That right there is mind-blowing. Not only that, but I can actually shoot photos in RAW, which gives me so much more detail, so much more information to play with, and really allows me to maximize this camera. Now, not only that, but this camera actually comes equipped with slow motion and super slow motion, which is 960 frames per second. An awesome feature if you're traveling solo is the S Pen. One of the really cool things I can do is I can actually set up this camera on a tripod, and by clicking this button here, I can take a photo without even touching the phone. It's basically like a wireless remote to activate your camera. Another thing I loved was the built-in Pro mode here on the camera. It allowed me to control the ISO, the shutter speed, the aperture, and it just gave me the ability to take so much more out of this little tiny camera on the back of a cell phone. Now, one thing that I absolutely loved about shooting with a cell phone over this trip was the memory efficiency. I was shooting 4K throughout the entire trip, and I only shot 60 gigabytes over those 4 or 5 days. Now, if I had done that with my DSLR camera, I would have shot anywhere from 10 to 20 times more data. It just makes storing all your video files that much more cost effective. Now, on that note, see what I did there? Pretty cool, right? Cost effective. That is the best way to sum this up, because not only do you get the incredible camera, but of course you're getting one of the world's premium flagship phones. It's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, but considering this is an eco-friendly video, we're gonna call this feeding two birds with one bread. Now, one of the greatest benefits of this camera is the ease of use for travel. Not only is it incredibly lightweight, but it allows you to leave at home your heavy DSLR, your lenses, all the extra equipment that you no longer need. Now, in addition to that, you also have incredible 128 gigabyte internal storage, and you have the ability to put in a micro SD card up to 512 gigabytes. For most people, that will mean they can shoot their entire trip without bringing a laptop or hard drive. The Note 9 is not going to be replacing my DSLR setup, but I have to say, it has blown me away on this test, and the Note 9 has so many incredible features that will help you get started in your filmmaking journey. And a huge thank you to Samsung for partnering with me on today's video. Leave the video a big thumbs up. If you're new to Team Get Lost, hit the subscribe button, and as always, let's get lost again next Saturday.